Adrian!
Adrian!
Okay. That's...
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, no.
Rocky!
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Movie Mumbles. I'm Roy Johnson, and joining us is Mr. Womble.
Movie Mr. Womble?
I was about to call you Movie Wumble, but no.
God damn it.
Anyway, so what we weren't doing we weren't suffering from a stroke right now. We were actually impersonating Sylvester Stallone, very poorly, but... Okay, now you just sound like you have a cough.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but the reason we're doing this is because we're doing the themes of Oscar movies, like 2 months after the Oscars have ended. But
yeah, a month and a bit, and 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the day after April Fool's Day when we're recording this. This has nothing to do with the episode. Just pointing it out. And it was my turn to pick the Oscar nominated or winning movie that was nominated or won Best Picture. And my pick was, of course, the 1970s classic boxing movie Rocky. It won Best Picture for that year. I haven't seen it. Womble has seen it.
Deserved it.
Deserved it. I think
definitely. You know what? Let's just get right into it.
So, since you have the most experience, you've actually seen most of the Rocky movies. I'll let you start off.
I've seen obviously this one, the second one, the third one. I think I've seen the fourth. I haven't seen Rocky Balboa or Creed. I really want to see Creed. I don't want to see Rocky Balboa.
I've heard Rocky Balboa is a good film. I don't think it's like I think it's on the better end of the Rocky. I've heard it's on the better end of the Rocky film.
Yeah, no. Like, for me, the Rocky films, like, the first film is an underdog story. It's not about winning. It's not about fighting. It is about pulling someone out of a gutter and the relationship. It's actually more of a romance film than it is, like, what genre would you put this in as a film category anyway? Like,
it's very slice of life. There's sports. There's slice of life. There's romance. There's.
I would say that the main theme is the romance between Rocky and Adrian, and his romance with boxing and how it hasn't always happened as well as possible. I suppose you could say it's a drama, but hey, any good story has a drama in it, right?
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I think a sport film that is, it probably is that, but I would definitely say it's a romance film. And I straight off the bat, I love this film because it's about Apollo. No, it's not. It's not about Apollo.
No.
I'm getting ahead of myself there. It's about Rocky Balboa, who is like a small town boxer and gets like the rare chance of fighting the heavyweight champion Apollo Creed. And
by the way,
because
but just because he likes his name, like
spoilers ahead of now.
Well, yeah, okay, but I mean that's not the biggest. That's not the biggest of spoilers, but yeah,
ahead of now there will be spoilers. We always forget to do the spoiler warnings. Well, we're doing a podcast about one film in particular for 25 minutes. It's gonna have spoilers.
Yeah, what else are we gonna talk about? I like the movie. It's very good.
So it's about Rocky Balboa, who gets this chance to fight the heavyweight champion Apollo Creed. And it's where he strives to go the distance for his own self-respect. That's the more thing. Like, that's what he wants. He wants to achieve his self-respect. And not just his own self-respect, it's the respect of everyone around him, which he hasn't had. He's 30 years old. He's at the end of his career, which is kind of ironic, saying that there's so many films... so many more films.
Keeps on boxing
with him as a boxer.
He keeps on boxing after like
he just keeps on going.
50 years old, or yeah.
And there's no real antagonist to this. I suppose you could say Apollo Creed, but really Apollo Creed is a good guy because he's giving the chance for his own selfish reasons. But he's giving the chance for for an underdog to come in and take the light, for
instance.
He's
still kind of rooting against him because he's still, like, egotistical.
Like,
and
that's sport, though, isn't it? I mean, that's, like... In that respect, Rocky's the bad guy for taking Apollo up on the chance and actually trying and not playing the game of a show, which is essentially what Apollo was hoping for.
Well, he was expecting Rocky to just get, like, easily creamed, kind of. That was what he was...
Yeah, he was. And then he kind of realized... like that in fact, that whole fight scene, like at the end, the actual fight, it is so well choreographed. It is so well...
yeah, I really like that. Yeah.
Oh, but there's something like there's a number of things that I really love about this film. So there's like there's the choreography, like there's the cinematography and the choreography of like all the fight and the moves. It feels real. It feels believable. Yeah, everything, like even punching the meat, that sort of thing. There's rage and characterization. I love that. And there's also a really good soundtrack, and I'm not talking about the one that everyone knows that can recite. That's probably my least favorite thing about the film because it's so well known. And it kind of happens during a part that is very cliche now because of this film.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. This film is very influential. Like, we think of it as cliche now, but remember, this is like the first time we've heard, like, this is the first time, like, a real training montage has been assembled, and the song is iconic. I mean,
the 80s training montage. There's a reason why they said 80s training montage. Because Rocky was in the 70s, so this was original for its time. Like, this was ahead of its time.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, I'm digressing. Like, one thing that I really, really enjoy about this film, and it's... I mention this sort of thing all the time in Movie Mumbles, and that's the underscore. So Rocky has one piece for his character, and it's played throughout the film in little segments, and it's like this little piano piece that just keeps popping up. So the first time you hear it, he is walking away from the fight that he has just won. He gets in at home, he looks at himself in the mirror, and then he looks at the kid, and then he puts the picture down. There's no dialogue whatsoever. It just has that musical tone over it. And in those first 15 minutes, you understand and you know and you care about this character. And all of these things together, the cinematography, the acting, like Sylvester Stallone, brilliant in this, like just amazing. And I want to note that this was actually wrote by Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. This was Sylvester Stallone's film, and in a kind of funny way, it kind of the journey into making this film with Stallone kind of parallels Rocky's actual underdog story. Because actually, of course, 1970s Stallone wasn't a big name, so he was kind of just this like lower tier, like. He did porn, he did all this stuff. Pretty much, I remember he, like, sent around, like, 30 screenplays trying to get something made, and then Rocky was the one that stuck. And he was so determined to get the, like, people were, like, United Artists at the time were originally, like, thinking, oh, maybe, like, Robert Redford or something for the main role, but he was like, no, I'm not squandering this opportunity. If this becomes a hit, like, this is my movie. So he ends up, in a way, kind of like Rocky, ends up becoming a big name because of this film. And It's really his legacy. This is the big film that people think of when they think of Stallone. And it's one of his best performances, definitely.
Well, like, for me, Stallone, like, the things that I know him for, Rocky and Rambo. Now, Rambo didn't come around until 82. And that was actually, that was the film First Blood. And that was actually that was a two-parter, and that was like amazing the way that was choreographed. And again, it's all about like the story and the character fighting against the odds in a small town after coming back from the war. That was after Rocky. Rocky was his first major breakthrough, and if I'm honest right now, it's the one that. For me, that's his defining performance. Whenever I think of Stallone, I don't think of the tired, old Expendables character that's annoyingly crap, or I don't think of older, like even Rocky Balboa as an older man. I think Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, and that's because of the really great characterization that he has in this film. And like, I'm not going to say it's one of my favorite films. It's one of the films that I respect the most.
Now, on to my opinion. Like you said before, it's a great underdog story. It's a great story. There's actually a lot of subtle, like, throwbacks and stuff. Like, some of the most iconic moments come about, and iconic scenes come from things that are actually established previously in the film. We all know the famous running up the stairs scene, but there's actually another stairs scene that actually happens before where he's struggling. It would be like if we were trying to run up those goddamn stairs. It's just he's struggling, he's out of breath, and he's kind of tired. The later stair scene is not just an awesome moment, but it's like showing his growth as a physical boxer athlete in a way, showing what he's determined to do. Also, I love the whole broken nose thing, like, oh, you never broke your nose, kind of symbolizing how he's never really struggled in his fights against, like, lower class people, like lower class fighters. But when he fights against
his true test.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like you could have been somebody, you could have been a contender. And actually they have that in the line they have a similar line like that in the film, which is obviously a parody from On the Waterfront. And that is actually where they get a lot of the themes and ideas from for this film. It is effectively what would have happened if Marlon Brando's character did get the chance, did get the shot.
He became a contender.
He became a contender, and he gets that opportunity. And the greatest thing that I like about this is the fact that he doesn't win.
Yeah, I really do appreciate that, and it shows it's about as like it's still a satisfying ending because he still goes through the entire match essentially. He still shows his bout. It's kind of more satisfying that he doesn't win, but we still get like it's clearly still a happy ending.
Well, he doesn't care about winning. He doesn't want to win. He just wants to prove that he can go toe to toe for the full 15 with Apollo Creed, which no one has ever done.
I love the story. It's a very simple story, but it's well made. It's a well made story. There's also a lot of great shots in there. I forgot the name. It wasn't Sylvester Stallone, although he does direct some later Rocky movies. It was I forgot who the director of this film was. It was David something.
No, it's not. It's John Avildsen, who is the director. I don't know who does the cinematography.
But anyway, there's some great shots in there. Like you mentioned, the scene where he's kind of looking at his younger like picture in the mirror. Great, like just focusing and then out of focus, and then we see him through the reflection. Another kind of similarly great choreographed like shot scene was like one of the first times Rocky meets Adrian, and it's like you see her kind of through, like they're separated by the bird cage, but they're still having this conversation, and there's also another reflection thing. Really great stuff. Kind of funny thing, the film opens on Jesus Christ. It's just literally like, bam. Like, I don't even know if that really connects, but, I mean, you gotta just...
Well...
You gotta include Jesus somewhere, right?
Yeah, no, I always think that. I always think it's a really cheesy opening, especially with the music that goes over the top. But it doesn't really subtract from the story, because the story hasn't started. And, if you think about it...
You're gonna connect it to Jesus Christ somehow? Just let's.
And if you think about it, like you go from the Jesus moment where he drops down into the ring, and then he's having that fight, and he's obviously clearly winning, like kind of thing. So that's the symbolizing. It's like in this ring, Rocky is Jesus because he can. He can do anything. Like, it was only like when he had the headbutt blow. It's like, well, that's not in. Then he just goes, you know what? I'm just gonna knock you out, and then he just like full on goes at him and knocks him out.
Okay. I mean, I'm so confused by that, but okay. There's one. So I know you mentioned you like the romance into it. There's one. I in general I do like the dynamic between Rocky and Adrian. I think it's played out well for the most part, but there's one scene that kind of does sort of nerve me a bit, which is kind of more due to my modern sensibilities. I know people in 1970s gave less of a shit about this, but kind of the scene where like Rocky and Adrian's first date, kind of like the setup is kind of like just first off, it's like first they waste a perfectly good turkey, which I'm annoyed by, but that's just me. I know my love of food, but more importantly, the whole thing is like essentially it's her brother Polly that kind of forces them onto a date. They ruin a good turkey and all that stuff, and then afterwards, when they come back, like the whole conversation, the ice rink, which is a cool scene, but it's mostly just about how Rocky's awesome and stuff like that, rather than like Adrian doing anything, like saying anything. And then at the very end, which I think is like my least favorite part of the film, is kind of where like Adrian's like, oh, I don't want to go, but then he's like, no, come in. Like, if Rocky wasn't such a likable guy, he's there's a very predatorial, almost, I don't want to use the word, but it's kind of rapey kind of vibe to that final scene.
No, I agree, but they need that in the film, because otherwise Rocky becomes this goody-goody two-shoes. He's got to have flaws. Like, you've got to have I feel like they could have flaws.
I feel like they could have done it.
At the end of the day,
I don't think they were trying to play it off as a rape thing, though.
No, they weren't. They were playing it off as Rocky. He doesn't know any better because he's lived in the gutter all his life. That's how everyone treats women. In his eyes, he's actually treating Adrian really, really well.
Okay,
he's taken her out.
I can see that.
He's had a date and he's invited her in, and he's kept her company all the time. And Adrian's kind of closed off, so he's just trying to make her not as shy.
I know that's kind of what they were trying to do. I feel like they could have played.
I agree with it.
Yeah, no, I feel like they could have.
That's the mentality of Rocky, especially where he grew up. Like he's gutter. He's a gutter man, and that scene comes straight after he lectures the 12-year-old kid about being a whore. Straight after.
That's true, definitely. Yeah.
So it shows you that, like, actually what happened there, Rocky was trying to save the kid, but the kid actually influenced Rocky more. And then it's that, and then it's Paulie, who is an appalling character at the beginning. But then by the end, you really feel for him. And Rocky just never gives up on Paulie. Never gives up.
Yeah, no, they do a good job with Paulie. They do a good job making him, like, he's clearly an asshole. He's like, there's no doubt about that. He's an alcoholic. He's a drunk and all that stuff, and he's shitty to his sister. But they still make him likable. They're still, like, you can see, like, the sad, pathetic, like, side to him, and he's still endearing. Like, he still does, like, good things for Rocky. Like, he helps him. Like, ironically, he teaches him how to punch the meat. Not intentionally, but
well, no.
And he gave him the robe also.
He did, but I mean, I like their relationship as much as I like Adrian and Rocky's relationship, and even like Adrian and Paulie's relationship's really, really fundamentally strong and weak at the same time. It's really a strange. I do give them because
I do give them credit. The Christmas scene I think is very strong. Yes. I think so, because I especially like when Adrian is just tired of Paulie's shit and just, like, screams at him. I do think that's a great moment. And then we see kind of, like, just Paulie just sitting pitifully in like, in his chair, almost like he's going to cry. And then this Christmas music plays in the background. I like that scene.
No. It's not actually the Christmas music. It's the same piano theme that goes through all the way through that. And it's actually to reflect Rocky looking at Paulie from a different point of view. It's not Paulie's theme, that's Rocky's theme. That little piece of piano, the Christmas style music, that same structure goes all the way through it. So when he wins his fight, it's very different to that scene there, but it's the same structured notes. It's like the same kind of chord structure. And there's very specific moments in that, in the whole film for that. Which is pretty cool.
So, we've gone through most of this film without mentioning this very iconic and pivotal character, Burgess Meredith, as Mickey. The kind of archetypal mentor, trainer figure with his rough, gravelly voice. And he's almost as iconic as Rocky in a way, just with that growl and, like, just kind of reluctant mentor. And, like, you're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna crap thunder. And I just like that performance. I think Burgess Meredith is a great actor. He's done a lot of great roles. I watched a lot of Twilight Zone, so I saw him from there. And he does a perfect, like, Mickey, because, like, at first, he's just kind of an asshole to Rocky, but you kind of see why like you see he's still looking out for Rocky in a way. He doesn't like that Rocky is like this like mafia hitman kind of guy, and he does see like the potential in him. And it's not until like the big match with Apollo Creed that like he wants to help him, but there's still tension between them. There's still obviously like because Rocky's realized, oh, why didn't you say like help me before? You know, I think the scene between them where there is that kind of conflict, and you can kind of see that like Mickey just really like you feel for him, like he realizes, oh, okay, I messed up, and he genuinely wants to help him. It's not like, oh, you finally hit it big, so let me help you. Kind of with Paulie, where does it, but like with Mickey, he's like, I want to genuinely help you. And at first, like Rocky's like, get out, but then of course he runs out and like accepts him, and then they become like awesome, like mentor, and stuff.
And that team works well, and that team returns. I'm not gonna give too much away, but that team up returns in Rocky 2 if you ever do watch it.
Okay.
And a lot of the same characters that you love and have cherished in that first film will still continue to grow for the next 2 films, which is like, it's such a great way to have a dedicated cast behind it, and they all are dedicated. You feel that in their performances. But yeah, Mickey in particular, like, it's such an iconic kind of boxer. Like his whole reason why he wasn't training up Rocky was because Rocky had let him down without even knowing, because he was a gangster kind of thing.
Yeah.
A bodyguard, a knee breaker.
A thumb breaker. He broke
the thumb breaker. That's
but he doesn't. But he doesn't break.
He never actually does that because he's got a good heart. He's got a good feeling behind it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about Apollo just a little bit.
Okay, no, that's fine because he is interesting. Like he's kind of he's an antagonist. He's not a villain. He's an antagonist. Yeah. But he's not. There's no malice in a way.
There's no evil. There's no evil in this film. Like, it's just general everyday life.
Yeah. People are like jerks, and obviously, but there's a realism to it. Like, there's not. In the later films, there's just like big evil bad guys, like Mr. T or Russian guy. But like in this film, like everyone, there's a clear realism to like everything, to the characters, to the way it's filmed. There's a gritty style to it. It's very Philadelphia. You can tell like the air of the. You know,
Philadelphia is a completely different movie.
No, I mean, okay.
Yeah, but no, it does have like this whole grit behind it, with the characters. But for me, Apollo, right? So he is the main antagonist, but at the same time, he's also the only reason why Rocky is able to better himself.
Yeah,
it's the only reason, because Rocky has been under shit for so long, and it's beat him down quite a lot. And he's ended up being the guy who has all of his stuff out of his locker and into a bag on a hook. And he becomes that guy. He's not having any luck with the girl. He goes in every morning to the pet shop and tries and tells jokes and gets nothing out of it. He is kind of tormented by his boss, Gezo, who is telling it, like, he's saying, yeah, Rocky, you're doing a good job, but you need to do exactly as I say. And then Apollo comes along and offers him this great opportunity, and unknowingly has created this great hero of our story. Without Apollo, there's no Rocky.
Creed is like the most like important character. He might even be more important than Rocky, honestly.
In the whole scheme of things, he is. And I like I said, I haven't seen Creed, the newest film, and I know it's about Apollo Creed's son. And without giving too much spoilers for the future films, I'm kind of interested to know what the reasoning is and how that relationship between Apollo and Rocky plays out in the Creed films. Or in the Creed film, because like
no, they're gonna make sequels.
Becomes the mentor.
They're making.
They should, because Creed apparently was just as good as Rocky, if not better. I don't know. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I've not seen it. Like I said,
yeah.
That's what I've heard. Like, as a film in its entirety, this is a great character piece. It's literally the American underdog story. That is literally what this film is. It has opportunity. It has amazing cinematography. It has a beautiful score, something that I just love and adore.
It is an iconic film. It's beyond the franchise, beyond all that stuff. It's changed cinema. Like there's a statues dedicated to Rocky, and like so much. Like it has changed like sports movies, and yeah, it's a classic film.
And with that,
we are done talking about Rocky.
There's nothing else you can say. It's a classic film. With that, back to the studio.
So, yep, the final film of Oscar themes. Hit it on me, or whatever, Womble.
So, we've gone through the pictures of the Oscars now. We've had 2 winners, 1 action. Like, they've all been very different. Mine is the most risky and the most different out of all of them.
Okay.
It is one that got nominated. It didn't win, but it got nominated. And hold on for a second. Just need to pull up my figures. So yeah. Hold on. I've got to do the whole figures thing here. Okay, so it's a groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking. Okay.
Yeah. It's a groundbreaking film. In 2001 actually, Ang Lee entered this film out, and it was a renowned success. It put Ang Lee on the map, and then bettered him to do Hulk, which, oh god,
yeah,
I'm not going to go into that.
No.
But this film, I've not seen. It is the first, as far as I'm aware, the first film to be entered into the best nominated picture.
I can't hear you. Wait, I can't.
The best nominated picture. It's the first film for the best nominated picture. Oh, he's gone. It's the first film that has been nominated for the best picture with subtitles. This is actually a Chinese film with English subtitles, and it is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That's my thing. Took a long time to get there. Oh. Roy?
Okay.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
Nope. It was okay. Just say it again. Sorry. I'll hear.
Oh God! I did such a big build-up, and I tried to draw it out for as long as possible until you got back into Discord. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon! Yay!
Yay! Best moment for that to happen. Just drawing out the suspense even further with an...
No, I already said it when you came back in. I thought you could hear, and then you left again, and I'm like, oh.
No, I couldn't hear shit. I couldn't hear. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, yeah, so Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I've not seen it before. First nomination ever with subtitles, and as far as I'm aware, the last for Best Picture.
I think this is our first ever. I think this is our first ever foreign film. I'm pretty sure.
This is our first ever foreign film as well. Yeah.
Yeah, not from US or UK.
I wanted to change it up a bit as well.
Oh, no, okay, that's definitely gonna be interesting. So now's the time for you guys to check out Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, in time for next week's Movie Mumbles in about a month or so.
Yeah, whenever that is, because of the Oscars, yay!
Yeah, Oscars, totally relevant now. But yeah, so
until next time, see you later, booze.
Booze. I know you said boobs last time. It's just you're just removing one letter.
Boo. Sup, boo. You know, weeaboo, booze. I called them booze.
Okay,
short
stop.
for weeaboos.
Okay, stop it.
Later, nerds.